So Penelope Frank, think about the initials. Think about where the exam led. Do you have it yet? I bet you're close. I bet you're in the right body part or the right area. PF, plantar fasciitis. The diagnosis was her name the entire time. Now let's go back to the restaurant she works at. Colin and Jenny's. Collagen. She has been working every day in a restaurant named after the molecule that is failing her. Terry, her coworker, who had the same problem, who feels better after she stretches her hamstrings. Terry, tearing, the micro tears in the collagen. Micro tears in the collagen fibers are what lead to plantar fasciitis. Terry found what worked for her instinctively. She just didn't know why. The train. Penelope loves the train because the train is the only time in her day when she was completely unloaded, seated, passive, no weight bearing, no gas pedal. The anatomy train, the myofascial system connecting her foot to her hip to her spine, finally gets to rest. Pressing down on the gas requires plantar flexion, flexing the foot down using the calf, pointing the foot down under resistance. This is the exact movement that loads the degenerated plantar fascia. She sold her car 2 years ago without knowing that it was her foot driving the decision. Now think about the blanket and think about her sleep. This is actually more common than most people realize. Sleeping flat on her back with a heavy blanket pressing her toes down, pressing her down into that same plantar flexion movement like when she's pressing on the gas pedal. She mentioned the first steps in the morning being the worst part and feeling pinching in her feet. Now let's think about the Advil. The Advil quiets the hip and the lower back, the compensation pattern. This is likely where she's inflamed, and when the compensation pain goes down, the source gets louder. The drug actually unmasked the diagnosis. The foot was always the primary driver, but the hip was the translation. And plantar fasciitis is incorrectly named itis. It is not necessarily a condition of inflammation. So when she gets rid of the inflammation, she actually feels it more. And finally, the shoes. 5 years ago, a kitchen with hard floors and shoes that were too small, compressed toes, her muscles were unable to function, and the plantar fascia was stressed out for 2 years straight working that job. She fixed the shoes, she changed the kitchens, but the damage was already built into the tissue. The crime scene might have been cleaned up years ago, but the body still remembered. So Penelope came in with a hip problem, but she really has a foot problem, and every detail of her life has been pointing at her foot the entire time. She just never looked down.